wondered why the market always goes against you? Many times after you've bought a share, then share prices started to drop. Is it because that the market doesn't like you? How do we overcome this situation then? M Plus Wiz, which alerts on potential entry for trending stocks, might do the trick for you. Is that all for the Wiz feature? Not at all. To find out more, please visit us at mplusonline.com/wiz.
Hello, everyone. So this is the M Plus Wiz highlights, and I am Louis Lau here. You're back again another week, and today's market is quite all right, I would say, given the fact that everyone is awaiting what is happening in the US inflation numbers tomorrow. A lot of indices out there, stocks exchange are in the very flattish tone, and mostly are in the red. All in all, we are looking at a very cautious tone abroad. But in Malaysia, what is happening right now is actually quite positive. I would say that the KLCI is positive due to several reasons. If you look into KLCI, what are the gainers? Okay, so let's check the gainers out. If you look into gainers, most of them are in the I would say plantation, the aluminium related, and also I would say building materials and certain banks. And especially there are also one of them is the oil and gas sector. So what I can say here is definitely the oil and also the crude palm oil. Both of them are actually helping the KLCI higher. But overall, sentiment-wise, it's not as great because you can see that more downward decliners and less upward advances. So I would say that the sentiment is not as good, but we certainly can find something to trade in the market today. So that is why we have certainly put in our thoughts into what are the beneficiary under this environment, and especially the Fed is actually increasing rates and having a very hawkish tone doesn't jive well with the technology stocks. You can see technology stock has been hammered down very severely, 2.96%, and only MyEG, this one is up. So these are actually more towards the IT software related companies, but most of the big caps, or I would say that the mid value chain companies such as all these Franken, Vitrox, Great all these are actually in the downward position. So I would say that because of the Feds and the US inflation talk, inflationary pressures that put a lot of attention on to what FOMC meeting is going to say about going forward, that is very significant impact towards the stock market. And especially right now, with COVID cases continue to surge in China, being the biggest manufacturer in town, in the globe, that would actually dampen the value chain, and that would also bring down the appetite of the recovery tone. And therefore, if there is disruption in this supply chain issue, that would also impact the inflation higher. And given the fact that the Ukraine and Russia tension is still unresolved, and that should also continue to put pressure on these inflationary pressures. So given that we can see that these two are the main reasons of inflation over the past few months, and the COVID cases are still not resolving in China. That also impacted the inflationary pressure earlier on. So supply disruption, and also the Ukraine Russia tension, that too will continue to alleviate the US inflation numbers. So CPI numbers tomorrow, it might not be flattening or coming down anytime soon. So it might continue to surge until maybe May, until maybe June, until another quarter or so, until these two things are being resolved, which is the COVID cases in China should resolve in order for us to see further downward movement on the inflation numbers, or Ukraine-Russia tension is being resolved, then that would give some hope towards this situation of inflation. So if these two are still there, I believe that the commodity prices will still being very in a elevated manner, and that will continue to put pressure on the inflation. So so given that scenario, FOMC meeting will how FOMC meeting or the Feds is going to react towards this inflation number is very important. But at the end of the day, it's about narrative. So right now, people are thinking about more hawkish tone, more of this frequency is about 7 times. But the problem is how much quantum do they want to increase per meeting? So that is another question mark. So people are saying that they might go up to 50 basis point, per session. So last time they are only having a talk, or people are only expecting 25 basis point per session and for 7 times. So right now, if the inflation is going to get worse, what if they are increasing by 50 basis point? Then that should impact the overall sentiment in the growth related companies. So that is, you have to bear in mind on that note. Okay, but certainly there are still silver lining. Okay, silver lining in the market. What is the silver lining? Is basically the two sectors that we always mention when these two sectors are still remaining as a very strong position: the plantation and also energy. These two are the sectors that we are thinking that it is still continue to turn out to be well. And last and the third sector that people are looking at is the metal related sector or the industrial products and services. So given that scenario, building materials might be also in play as well. So overall, plantation, because of FCPO prices at being elevated above the 5,009, I think currently is also hovering about that point. And the Brent oil prices is actually trading around 100, okay, 100 US dollar, and CPO is about above, slightly above 6,000. And building material price, I think need not to say much. The aluminium is the one that is being traded higher, especially when under this Ukraine and Russia tension, basically aluminium prices will also go up. Okay, so these are the key ideas behind it. Okay, so what do we think about the stock market, and how does that translate to our stocks stock selection this morning? Okay, so what we have picked. Let me show you. Let me share you another screen on how did we pick the stocks. Okay. So let me share you the charts, and what we have selected here is definitely related to what I've mentioned. So this was put in the morning. We have a team to discuss every morning to see what are the best opportunities, and based on the chart patterns, what are the counters that is highly likely to trade higher for that particular day. So Ta An and Kim Long is certainly part of our selection. Ta An is positive, and it is one of the most positive counters under the selection today. So it has went up from 5 ringgit and 58 towards 580. So which means that it has went up about 3.8%. So I think 3% is easily for you to grasp the opportunity. And the other one is Kim Long, although it has not traded, I mean, not being triggered here, but again, there is a breakout above the 202, 2 ringgit and 2 ringgit level. Highest point is 204, is also about 2% return for Kim Long. And also Kim Long is having a very, very strong results early on, despite the Q-on-Q downfall because of the weather issue, the labor's issue. But overall, Kim Long is a very strong against their peers. Okay, so it is strong against their peers in terms of the extraction rate. So which means that they can milk more oil from their fresh food branches and things like that. So that's why Kim Long is really having a very good breakout to retest the previous high around 2 ringgit 20 cents. Again, they are also giving out very decent dividend yield, so you can actually check them out. So these are the two plantation counters that we have put in. The next two counters is related to this metal related and also building material. So although it has not make a very good progress yet, but certainly it is still an uptrend in that counter. It has broken above the 1912, but it has fallen back from 1950 level. The lowest point for today is 1865 level. But I would say that this is just a start, and I would assume that as long as it is still hovering above the 1839, 1840 level, that is a very good opportunity to grab again on the upside to potential towards the 20 or even towards the 2185 level. Okay, so these are the range that we are going to monitor. LB alarm is also another one being triggered, and although it has not made any move yet, but it should, it trade towards the 55.5 or even towards 57.5 with the cut loss position around the 52.5. Okay, so before I go into another a few counters, make sure you have like this video and also share this video out in order for us to review your stocks at the end of the day. So if you have any questions, you can put into the comment section. Then again, we will continue to see whether you have a share batch. If yes, then we will take your questions and we will review your stocks later at this session. Okay, so right now, what do you think about the stock market because there are only several counters being traded. So what are the things that it continue to see a good opportunity is definitely the uptrend in tech counters. So Minho seems like a good in a good process that it is trying to break out higher on last Friday's candle, but today it didn't really break above the highest point of that bar, so it didn't trigger us the signal. So as long as it is still not triggered any signal yet, we are still refraining from buying into this counter until it has triggered us a signal. So overall, it has been turning into a very positive upward move. Higher high and higher low position is there, is seen, and it is still hovering above the 35.5, which is the EMA 20 level. So 35.5 support, and the resistance is around 40 cents level. So again, if you are trading on this counter, you might want to use another method, which is the pullback formation, capture at the support range, trade towards the 38.5 or even 40 cents level for Minho. But overall, I would say that it has been a very good upward trending tone, and therefore we are just waiting for the breakout to happen. PCCS is also having some good upward move, but it doesn't really break out yet. So we are still maintaining the view that the uptrend move is there, just that it hasn't break out. So therefore, you're not trying to buy on the breakout. Perhaps there, if there is a good opportunity of reversal along the 46.5 cents, then that could be a range that you want to monitor for an entry. And if it is breaking below the 46.5, then you have to cut loss. Sign. Okay, this morning there is a breakout above the 162-163 level. It has traded towards 166, but it has closed slightly lower. But overall, I don't see any issue for now. I think sentiment is the one that is driving the profit taking activities. But overall, you can see that it has been all this while uptrend in tech position, and especially they are tagging along the recovery theme and construction plays. Perhaps this could also continue to see further upside. Okay, so I would say that 158 is definitely the cut loss point. If anything is going against you below the 158, then you have cut loss. If it is surging above the 166, and next target should be around the 174, 75, or towards the 180 level. So that will be the range that you have to take profit if in case it does come true, or you can trail your profits upwards. So that's another two ways to go. Okay. Why do we pick Tune Pro is because of recovery team as well. We thought that we have to have some conservative picks as well, although these plantation building materials are okay. Just that if the market is turning into the recovery team, then perhaps we have also another good opportunity to trade as well. So I think right now it is just waiting for the breakout to happen. Certainly the aviation counters are coming back, and the travel, tourists are also coming back. Perhaps this is also under one of the under the radar, on the radar of traders. Once it is able to break out above the 44.5, then next time will be around 48, 49, and also 51 cents level. So these are some of the selection of counters. Why do we pick these counters, and the reasoning behind it? Okay, so again, if you don't have any ideas behind what is happening in the market, you also always can go back to traders list, which it comprises of more counters that is being highlighted over the uh, past few days, at least 7 days. So if you notice the counters being traded, it's very similar to what I have been mentioning. The plantation is the main gist of the stock market right now, and then oil and gas related counters may come back into play, and building materials, construction players, consumer, and these are all the recovery team plays, banking stocks, especially this, and also and some property companies as well as Okay, so these are some of the company names. Okay, so let's check one by one. Maybe ABMB, it has traded a bit higher. Agea, let's see, Agea also traded a bit higher, and it has not been making any good move yet. But again, this is considered as a positive move because of the upward move, pullback consolidation, and today it has triggered us the signal here. So perhaps this could be also a point where you want to monitor more of this building material segment, because building material segment is definitely positive right now. And so you have to look out for it. Bonia is definitely under recovery team, but they have been rallying quite strongly. I think we are putting over the past 5 days. So basically, these are the range that we are seeing, along this section here. 2 ringgit and 10 cents, it has broken out. Then it has traded higher before the profit taking activities today. So a lot of plantation counters like B Plant we have put in last week as well. It has traded higher from 107 to 111. This is certainly a very positive breakout. So we have been putting in counters that are related to potential breakouts in the near term. So that is why you can also always check the traders list for ideas. So let's see Chapat. Today's Chapat's move. Let's see. It is a very strong positive breakout. 109 breaking out towards the 118. So last week's counter is even much better as compared to today's plantation stocks. Although today's plantation stock also given us 2 to 3% per counter, but certainly last week's counter like Chapat also made a very good progress. Chin Hin is under the building material segment. It's also it has went up, continue to go up as well. CSC still mildly going up, but it is not as strong. But overall, it is definitely good. It is awaiting next good performance in terms of their financial results in May. Then FGB is also under plantation counters. It has been breaking out last week. Today, continue to see some good movements here. Gabongan AQRS is under the construction sector. Maybe this might take us some time before the takeoff of the uptrend move. So you just have to wait. Hanlon also mildly breaking out. Hevia under the wood furniture counters also went up a bit. HS Plant, I think, is a very strong counter. After their dividends being paid out, they can still trade towards above the dividend payment. So which means that they have they are continue to see a very good movements going forward. Therefore, they have been breaking out today. Added another 5.3 cents. J Tiasa is also under our previous selection of stocks. It has been traded higher from 103 towards 109, also about 7-8%. Cretam. Okay, Cretam. So basically what I'm showing you here is definitely what we have put in over the past week. Okay, so not to say that if we put in today, it will trade today. It will trade higher today. It may not be that case, but certainly we have been forward looking in our stock picking. So which means that if those counters are under the team that we think in the next 7 days or 5 days, it should be traded higher. Therefore, we'll put that in. So that is the commitment that we have under the M Plus Wiz Pro. Okay, so these are the counters that we have selected, and it has traded higher at least for today for a breakout. Like for instance, MHC as well, it has broken out above 134 towards a highest point is 138, 4.5% upside. Pentec, although maybe not as positive, but we have certainly put in this before it has broken out. So we are trying to time the breakout, but today it might be a good consolidation phase and then continue to see higher movements. Their last result was in January, so April. By this month, they should have another results out, and therefore that could actually bump up the share price even higher because they are expected to get good profits going forward. So PMB Tech we have mentioned, Ta'an we have mentioned, Teladan. Okay, Teladan. Okay, Ta'an, and I'm pressing Teladan, but it doesn't come out. Okay, Teladan continue to trade higher. So we did put in last 5 days or 7 days, which means that it is about maybe this range of prices. And today it continue to trade higher towards 68 cents. Its highest point out of 5 days, 7 days, and therefore Teladan might be a very good opportunity to continue to hold on until it turns, it bends. So for now, you might want to take profit, or you can take marginal profits until it hits maybe 70 cents. Then once it bend down, then that is the point that you want to take a cut or take whole profits from that point. Okay, so TechScam is also under our stock list early on. It has traded higher and continue to maintain above the EMA 5, and this is continue to look good. Still haven't really break below EMA 5 yet, so it's positive. And last few counters that being triggered is TH Plant, continue to break out today, up about 9 to 10%. And these are under our list of stocks that triggered the signal. UA Development also triggered the signal, but it did not really see some good follow through. Although weekly chart is telling us that uptrend move is coming, it should be a very solid gradual upward trending tone from this point. So let's check it out. Okay, let's check it out. Where is the target looking at right now? It perhaps this is still halfway towards 205, and this is just based on the previous resistance point plotted using the channel pattern. And the 182 certainly is the cut loss position. And if you're looking at the trading opportunities, it will be around 2 ringgit level. Bear in mind, UA Development and UA REIT under UA is really very strong in terms of dividends. So they should be paying out very healthy dividends going forward. Okay. Vino is also part and parcel of our trading ideas last week. Right now, it has not really make a very strong upward trending move yet, but it should continue to surprise us on the breakouts. The alignment of the EMAs are already intact. So just that right now it might be taking a pullback phase before another one bar up, and then you can actually follow through using that bar, or you can accumulate along the 40 cents level and cut loss. Make sure it's below the 40 cents level, and if it is falling below that, you have to cut loss. But if it is hovering around that and rebound, then perhaps there will be some upside towards the previous high around the 46.5 cents level. Okay, so that will be it on my session. I will take some Q&A before I stop at 1 p.m. later. So I have 2 questions. So make sure you have your sharer badge with you. Once you are able to share out the video and you have asked your question, then we will take the question if you have a sharer badge. So there is one question on Tenko. Tenko is one of the very strong counter after the breakout of around the 23-24 cents level. It continues to trade higher according to the EMA 5 position. There is still no significant news on this, but the share price movements has been quite positive. So I would presume that if you are trading on this counter, you might want to take note on these few levels to make sure that you are protected. Okay, so just in case it turns against you around 48.5, then that means you have to cut your position. If it is falling even further down below the 43 cents, then you have to cut loss. But overall, the signal is still uptrending. Momentum is still intact. I don't see it turning anytime soon right now. Again, we will use the EMA5 or the 48.5 cents as a judgment call. Once it is falling below this level here, then we might want to cut. Okay. So next is CEKD. CEKD is doesn't look that great right now. Perhaps there could be very mild profit taking activities going on right now. Although we are not very bullish on this, but we are also might not be too negative on it because the recent pullback it is accompanied by a very small volume, and therefore this might be saying that the buying interest is strong, but the selling pressure is not as strong, and therefore it may form the breakout pullback and continuation pattern. So what I'm saying here is that it might be breakout, it pull back, and it can continue higher from this point. So we just need to wait for a very bullish engulfing bar or a hammer pattern along this 61.5 cents level. Okay, so this will be it on the WIS MPA Swiss highlight. I think there are not many questions out there. But before we go, we want to also promote our market outlook. It is this coming Saturday. This Saturday, which is 16, yeah, 16 of April, 10 a.m. You can join via the link below. We will be putting it in the comment section, and please also click going on the event page so that you will be able to receive the notification. So it is 16 April, 10 a.m. this Saturday. And so we will share more information about what is the market review last quarter, and also what we are providing, what we are going to view the Q2S, where we should be putting our money into, where should we expose our stock portfolio into. Okay, so yeah, so that will be it. So market outlook is on this Saturday, and today's session has ended. Right, it's going to end soon. So thank you so much for your attention, and I hope that you are able to make at least some profits out of the plantation stocks, or even the oil and gas sector, or even the building material segment at going into this this week itself. But bear in mind, the next very significant data will be coming out tomorrow, which is the inflation data that will impact the direction of the FOMC or the Federal Reserve in the US. And if they are going to be more hawkish, then it might not be good for the stock market, or especially the technology stocks. Okay, so that will be it. Thank you so much, and hope to see you again next week. Thank you. Bye bye.